Hello, sir. Sir, sir, am I audible? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Kindly unmute your device, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Am I
Uh,
audible?
Hello, sir. Yeah, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah.
You are audible.
Good
Good afternoon,
afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Sir, within 5 minutes, we just start the session, sir. Students
Sure,
are writing exams. They will come soon, shortly, sir.
sure.
Just 5 minutes.
Okay, no worries. Yeah.
We wait for the
I
start.
will switch
Thank
off
you,
my
sir.
video because the internet connectivity is quite poor here. I'll just switch off
Okay, sir.
my
No issues,
video.
sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Sir,
can you hear me?
just we can start the yeah, and just give and we start the session. So I will done very soon.
Hello.
Also,
Uh,
if you
your
like to join for it, sir. So
there is an audio problem. I'm not able to hear you properly.
hello, sir.
Hello.
Can you can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
sir.
It seems to be better. Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, okay. The students were joined very shortly. Submit the information. I will join very shortly. Just wait for just few more minutes.
Sure, sure.
Oh, okay. Thanks for your response.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank
Good afternoon to everyone. I like to start the session with a welcome address. I like to welcome you all to today's webinar session on the topic of Micromedex orientation program conducted by Vels Central Library and collaboration with the National Digital Library of India. Again, I like to take privilege of welcome you, our speaker, Mr. Amarnath sir, and business development and marketing of Micromedex. We are happy to welcome you, sir. Once again, I have pleasure to welcome you, sir. Now, I will hand over the session to the resource person. Sir,
you. Yeah, hello.
hello, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, now you can take the session, sir. Huh?
Oh, sure. Thanks very much,
Sure, thank
and
you, sir.
thanks, and I really appreciate each one of you on this session for taking your time to join and understand more about Micromedex. Uh, okay, a formal welcome to all of you. Good afternoon. My name is Amarnath. I am from this organization, Dino Private Limited. We are the sole authorized channel partners for marketing IBM Micromedex, business solutions in India. I basically take care of the sales and marketing activities for Micromedex solutions, and along with few other solutions that we deal. Now, apart from Micromedex, we also deal with intellectual property solutions related to patent research and analytical tools, literature search platforms. We also deal with online domain and brand monitoring and enforcement services. We also deal with the Cochrane's interactive learning, that's e-learning courses on how to conduct systematic reviews. So these are some of the solutions that we deal with. So I would the session would be as follows. I would start initially with a very brief PowerPoint presentation, just to showcase you on some of the features and benefits of using Micromedex, and then we can go online. Okay, I'll take you to the live demo. I would request the host to permit me to present my screen, Mr. Deepan.
Yeah, already presented, sir. Now you can present your screen.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I hope you all are able to see my screen. It reads as demo program on IBM Micromedex, the world's largest leading evidence-based clinical knowledge solutions. Okay, let's try and understand some of the highlights of Micromedex. Micromedex is the world leader in evidence-based medicine, and every document or every line of information gives you the reference, and you could just click on the reference number, just find out from where the source of information is. It is updated on daily basis, and whatever information you get on Micromedex, you can be rest assured that it is the most current information which is updated on daily basis. It's very authoritative, and authenticated information that you get on Micromedex. Micromedex is the only drug information database in the world which has been accredited by the National Institute of Health and Care Excellence, which is a most UK reputed organization. The best part here is that all the searches that you search on the drug information or the drug interactions or the IV compatibility is being backed by IBM's powerful Watson's artificial intelligence search engine. So along with this, we also provide you support mobile apps, which I'm sure many of you would have already downloaded the apps like drug interactions, the drug summary reference, and IV compatibility. And here again, unlike other publishers, our apps work offline. Once you download the apps and give the password, you'll have to just give the password once. I'll show you. During my presentation, I'll show you on how where you can find the instructions on how to download the mobile apps and give the passwords. And we also support you with the training videos on Micromedex on how to use different tools. There are separate training videos which I'll show you during my live demo. Okay. So now, when there are so many open source platforms, like there is Google. I mean, today there's nothing like you can't get on Google. But still, why institutions should subscribe to Micromedex? Probably because the amount of information that you get on Google is not within the boundaries of what you are looking for. So it gives you so much of unwanted information, wherein it takes a lot of your time to look for the authentication and check whether it is updated. What is the authenticated source of that information? Here, Micromedex, you don't have to worry about that. Your boundaries are defined. Whatever information is presented on Micromedex is the most authenticated information. It also helps the users in reducing the medication errors and improve patient. It helps the users to practice rational use of drugs. It provides education, patient counseling notes on right use of drugs, helps monitor and manage ADRs, helps monitor and manage drug interactions. These are some of the reasons why people across the world use Micromedex. Now let's try and understand what are the different content sets that are available on on Micromedex platform. See, many students, especially for that matter, including some of the faculty members, think that Micromedex is just a drug information. No, Micromedex is something beyond that. So it covers medication management solutions where you get the complete in-depth and comprehensive drug information, drug monographs, the drug interactions, information on the drug interactions. You can also use IV compatibility to check whether a given whether a given combination of IVs are compatible or not. We also have the world's the best toxicology management information, where you could find information on how to manage if there are any toxic exposures whenever you get cases of toxic exposures. We cover about more than 1 million toxic substances. It could include any types like snake bites, insect bites, the chemicals, the drugs, the herbicides, the pesticides. Name any toxic substances. Most of them are available on Micromedex. We also cover the disease and condition management solutions, which covers both the general and emergency medicines. Apart from that, neofax and pediatric information, that is neonatal and pediatric information is there. Patient care notes is also covered. The alternative medicine information is also covered. And also you can find a lot of calculators for drug dosing calculations and many other calculations. Okay. So some of the benefits of using Micromedex is that it helps the users to take a more informed treatment decisions at the point of care. It helps the users to identify the medication errors in advance with context appropriate clinical evidence. It saves everybody's time in searching with a summary level and in-depth content. And Micromedex rating system for strength of evidence, efficacy, and strength of recommendation is also available, so that you are rest assured on the authentication. Okay, so this is just a brief PowerPoint presentation I just wanted to give you. Now we can go directly to the hello. Okay, I hope it is visible. So for any queries, you can always feel free to get in touch with me, or if somebody has any questions, you can post your questions to your HODs or the faculty members, and they can get in touch with me. Okay, I'll just take you directly to the Micromedex website. So I've just logged in to the Micromedex page. Once you log in, it will take you to this page where you can see these applications like Micromedex care notes administration, and so on. Once you enter this page, you will have to click on Micromedex button, which will take you to the search page. So this is the homepage of you see, like there's a keyword search box here. Onto your right side, you can see ask question. I'll show you how it is different from the normal conventional search. On the top side, you can see on the top end, you can see some of the direct links to these tools, like the drug interactions, the IV compatibility, the drug identification, drug comparison. Sorry, I clicked on IV compatibility. So the drug comparison, when you want to compare, do a side-by-side comparison between two drugs, you could use this drug comparison. Care notes is basically the patient education notes. Neofax is about the neonatal and hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Deepan. Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Deepan, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello, Amarnath, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Am I audible? Hello.
Before not.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, audible. So just go ahead. Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can.
But I think Deepan is trying to convey some message to me. I don't know what it is.
Sir, we can't be able to see what screen, sir.
You are not able to see the screen, is it?
Yes, sir.
Right now
Yes.
it is. Oh, yes. Now our cursor is moving somewhere.
It says I'm still on the opening page. Can you see it? It says I'm on the home page of Micromedex. Not able to see?
Okay.
But
They just
we can see
open
only
it.
an empty screen, sir.
Oh, is it?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir. It is a black screen.
I don't know. Probably it's because of the internet speed.
Or you can share it once again, sir.
Maybe I'll just share it once again. Let's see.
Yes.
Can you please
Yeah,
confirm
sir,
if
we
it is
can now
visible now?
see your screen, sir.
Okay, you are able to see it, right? Okay. Hello. Can one of you please confirm if it is clearly visible now?
Yes, sir. Now we can see your screen, sir.
Okay, great. So, okay, I'll
Thank
start
you.
from the beginning. So, what I've done is I have just, I've just, logged into Micromedex and I'm on the homepage of Micromedex. Okay. Now, this part of it is the normal conventional keyword search where you can type in the drug name or a disease name or a poison name to look for information, basically to look for the complete monograph of the drug. On to your right side, if you can see this, there is this something called as Ask Watson. This is the artificial intelligence powered search engine. Okay. Now, on top of it, you can see some of the direct links to the some of the tools called drug interactions, the IV compatibility, identification, drug comparison, care notes, neonatal and pediatric information, and there are other, the calculators and a few other tools. Now on the bottom side, you see on the left hand bottom side, you can see something called as latest news. This part would give you the information on the, breakthrough news, like, if there is any new drug entering in the market, any new drug which got some FDA approvals and so on and so forth, some breakthrough news, you will be able to see here. And the center part of it, like, the middle part of it is on the support and training. Now here you see training center. If you click on that, it will take you to the complete, training videos on every tool of Micromedex. Now, for example, maybe if somebody wants to check on how to use the calculators or how to use the drug comparison tool, you can register your name here and go through this videos. Now, see, each video is about just 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, and so on. Drug interaction tool is like, how to use drug interactions is about 7 minutes. How to use IV compatibility is about 6 minutes. Similarly, you can also check on the toxicology information on all these videos. So I would urge every user, I would suggest every user, especially the students, to make use of these videos. Okay. So you can, like, find all the possible support from Micromedex so that you can make optimum use of Micromedex. Okay. Now coming back to the search tool, and here on the right hand bottom side, you can see the tab which reads as download mobile apps. I'll come to that part where it gives you the instructions to use, I mean, in the sense how to download mobile apps, and you can also find the passwords here. Okay. And these are the other direct links to some of the other resources, like, to the list of all the drugs which carry the black box warning. You can also find the list of all drugs which sound alike and look alike. That is, do not confuse, drug list, drug classes, drug concerts, REMS, and so on and so forth. Now, coming back to the Ask Watson. Now, how it is different? See, normally, let's say when students go for rounds along with the doctor, or the doctor immediately comes to you and says, "Okay, what is the correct dose of, let's say, telmisartan for hypertension?" So you can type the question in the same natural language as what the doctor asks you, or for that matter, anybody asks you. Now, let me type in, is the right dose for telmisartan for hypertension. So you type the question in a very natural language and click on it. It will give you the dosing information. It's like, you ask a question and the system will give you the answer. But please be noted. Make a note that this search box can understand only queries related to drug information, the drug interaction, and IV compatibility. Supposing if somebody is typing any question related to the poison management information or the disease management information, the search engine doesn't understand. Okay, as of now, that is the limitation. Okay, and if you click on learn more, you will see all the some of the examples as to queries that you can type on this box. Let's say I want to check on, for example, what are the adverse effects of digoxin. It will give me here are the other suggestions for risk, black box warning, adverse effects, and all these things. Okay, supposing I want to understand if warfarin interacts with, let's say, erythromycin, I can type that query. Does warfarin interact with erythromycin? Click on that and you will get the answer. it says that I found multiple results for drug. Which one are you looking for? I select, let's say, erythromycin. It will give me, yeah, here is the drug interaction between erythromycin and warfarin sodium. And the severity is major. Major means sometimes it could be fatal also, very fatal also. It will also give you some of the information, clinical management warning, what is the onset of this interaction, so on and so forth. Okay, I hope this is clear to you now. Now coming back to normal search, let's say I take for demo purpose, I just pick up one very general example. I'm a non-technical guy. I'm not from either pharma or medicine. It's just that, I'm purely a marketing guy. So for demo purpose, I take a very common drug, let's say digoxin. The moment I type first few characters, it will show me all the related searches. So I can pick and choose the drug of my, keyword of my interest. And this is how it gives you the information. If you see, like, it gives you the information in a very standard format. It would always with, into which class of drug that this particular drug belongs to. It belongs to anti-arrhythmic and cardiac glycoside and all this. What are the routes of administration? It shows us it is available in both injection and oral form. And it would always, the information would always starts with quick answers, which basically it is summary level information. So I'm sure, like, you guys would be more interested in the in-depth answers. You click on in-depth answers, it will give you much more detailed information here. Okay. And if you see on the left hand side, it will display all the fields of information that would that you can find. Starts with dosing, administration, adult dosing, pediatric dosing, FDA uses, non-FDA uses. See, non-FDA uses is nothing but the off-labeled indications. The amount of information that Micromedex gives on off-labeled indications is so much that no other research in this world can give you so much of information. The dose adjustment information, you can find the information, medication safety, contraindications, all these things, the mechanism of action, pharmacokinetics, and you can also get the patient education material here. You can see some of the the patient handouts. You can click on that and just take a printout of this information and give it to the patients. And there could be some points where the healthcare professional might have to counsel the patients, for which you can go through this medication counseling part of it and counsel the patient accordingly. It also covers the toxicology information, about some of the other informations, like about the supply, the drug properties, and storage and stability information, trade names, available trade names, and so on. Please be informed, we do not cover all that are available locally, Indian brands. This is a global database, and only those drugs or brands which are available internationally that is covered. And of course, all the generics are covered. Okay. Now, on to your right side, if you see, there are other related results here. You can find alternative medicine information, you can find the disease and condition management information, the toxicology management information. All these informations are associated with this particular drug digoxin. Okay, these are all the related information for this drug digoxin. And you can also find something called as drug consults here. See, drug consults is basically the patient's responses to this particular medication. You can find different articles here, like drug documents here. There is something on Beer's criteria summary. Appropriate medication is among the elderly patients. There is something from Canadian Heart Failure Drug Management Guidelines. All these references. Okay. You can also find the stop or start criteria, appropriate use of medications in elderly patients. See, all these informations may not be of very relevant to you, but you can go through the information whichever you find is relevant to you. Okay. So coming back to this, I'll also quickly take one example on how to use the drug interactions. Let me click on drug interactions. So this is the drug interaction tool, where let's say for demo purpose, I pick up few combination of drugs, let's say theophylline, for example. I can pick theophylline. Now let me also pick maybe digoxin. Warfarin. And maybe let's say patient is allergic to some foods. If patient is allergic to either foods or some particular drug, you could add that as well. Let's say I pick up, let's say the patient is allergic to nuts. I pick up this. Just update that allergic to the profile and submit this. And this is how you get the drug interaction information. I mean, there are various types of interaction. Could be between drug, food, ethanol, lab, tobacco, pregnancy, lactation, ingredient duplication, allergy, so on and so forth. Here you see there is some major drug food interactions given here, and it says the severity is quite major. Sometimes it could be very fatal also. Here you can find the summary level of information here. You could also find the evidence, the documentation. It says that it is fair. And if you want to go through the clinical managements of it, come back to this section, drug section. If you click on digoxin, you will find the clinical management information. It also gives the what is the onset of this, this particular interaction. Severity is major, documentation, probable mechanism, the summary of this interaction, the literature part of it, and the references part of it. Okay. And similarly, you could also IV compatibility. In the same way, like how you selected for drug interactions, you can select the combination of IVs here and look for whether it is compatible or not. Drug identification, I really don't know how relevant it is for you. This is basically like you can search by for example, what is the color of the tablet or the capsule, what are its shapes. Based on that, you could try and figure out what kind of drug it is. It's basically for that. It's more used in US and the Western countries. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if it is relevant to the Indian scenario. Now, drug comparison is something that Suppose let's say you want to compare the efficacy between two drugs. Let's say I take, for example, rosuvastatin and let's say atorvastatin. If I want to do a side-by-side comparison between these two drugs, please remember one thing, this database doesn't tell you which drug to use. It will only give you the drug comparison. And based on that, a healthcare professional can take an informed decision, basically. You see, the atorvastatin calcium, rosuvastatin, other side-by-side comparisons are given here. Supposing you want to check on all the contraindications between these two drugs, you could simply click on contraindications and it will give you the side-by-side information. So based on this information, the healthcare professional can take a decision on which drug to go with. Okay. Now, I'll come to the care later. Now, for demo purpose, let me just pick up something wrong. Sorry for that. Okay, let me just pick up one example on a poison management information. Let's say I'll pick up one general arsenic, poison case of arsenic. So similar way, you can see this information. It would always start with the summary level of information, that is quick answers. If one is interested to go in depth, you could click on in-depth answers, it would start with the overview, that is, which covers with life support, clinical effects, laboratory monitoring, treatment overview, substances included or the synonyms, the clinical effects on summary of exposure, vital signs, heme, cardiovascular, and all these fields. Monitoring. You also get some of the case studies here, case reports, case series. The treatment protocols is covered here. Now, let's say you want to understand on the patient disposition, you can click on patient disposition and you get the required information. Or let's say I want to check on, let's say, the life support or clinical effects, you get all this information here. Okay. So let me just take one example on disease. Let's say I take an example on stroke, a very common example, generic example, stroke. There are many, topics related to different types of strokes here. So for demo purpose, I pick up this thromboembolic stroke. Now here again, it would start with quick answers. Let's say I click on in-depth answers. You see the background, the definition, epidemiology, the summary, medical history, findings, diagnostic testing. You can find the information on diagnostic criteria and differential diagnosis part as well. The treatment summary, drug therapy, the all this information, tests and procedures related to this. On to your right side, you can also find something called as clinical checklist. You click on clinical checklist, it will take you, you'll have to select this ischemic stroke. And it will take you, suppose if there is an emergency, emergency case which comes to the emergency department. So you could use this as a reference tool, which gives you the information what always do, never do. It also supports you with the strength of recommendation or evidence, the rating system and all this stuff. Okay, now, I've just taken one example on each. So let me also just take you one example on neofacts and pediatric information. Oh, I think I'll have to share the. Okay, here we have just entered the neofacts and pediatric information. Now you see, you can find the drug monographs here, the internal formulas, and dosing calculators. I'll just give you one example on dosing calculators. Let's say I want to calculate some dosing for a 1-day baby. I just select the date of birth as 1-day-old baby. The moment I select the birth, it automatically, the system would automatically consider whether it belongs to the pediatric or neonatal. See, the moment I selected the date, it has considered that it's neonatal. So you don't have to worry about that. Let's say I select the age as the gestational age as 34 weeks, and the weight of the baby as 1.25 kg. Proceed to calculator. Now it is asking for the drug selection. Let's say I select ampicillin. I've selected ampicillin. It is working at the back end, and now it gives you this information. I say calculate the dosing part of it. Give me 63 milligrams per dose, delivery rate, and all this information. Okay, so this is how you can make use of Micromedex. And I'll just take one last example on care notes, because I think we already, yeah, we have another few minutes. I'll also open, once I complete the presentation, I'll open for Q&A session. And if anybody has any questions, you can pose those questions to me. Now, this care notes basically is the, as I told you earlier, it is the patient education notes. Now, let's say, suppose you want to educate the patient, it could be it on drug or the disease and condition or the lab information. You could use this. Now, the language that they use for this is simple, very simple, easy to understand English. Because we know that every person is not doesn't have medical background or the pharma background. So that is why it is written in a very easy to understand simple language. Now, let's say I take this example stroke. I look for information. Now again, here there are many records on the different forms of stroke. I simply select general stroke, and there are the patient education notes is available in different languages: Spanish, English, Arabic, Chinese, French, German, Italian, and all these things. But for India, English makes more sense, so I select English here. Now, this is how it would give you the information on patient care notes. See what you need to know. What is a stroke? There are some picture representations here. What are the warning signs of strokes? Sudden loss of balance, eyes, loss of vision, face drops on one side, and all these things. What are the signs and symptoms of stroke? What increases my risk for a stroke? So these information will be very important to educate a patient. What are the food information, all these things, how to manage the stress. So basically, nowadays the patient education is gaining a lot of importance because when you educate the patient properly, the patient would respond better to the treatment, and his outcome would be much faster than compared to the other patients. So nowadays, most of the hospitals, they give a lot of importance to educating the patients. So this actually information, there is a lot of you could suppose if somebody finds that this information is too much to the patient, you can also customize it accordingly. You can customize it. That is that optional. We can enable that. You can go to this section and customize. In the sense, you could probably remove some information, or if you want to add some information, you can add that information and save it to the hot list. Okay. So this is in brief about Micromedex. Once you start using it with more in depth, then probably you will have questions. With this, I come to see, this is very easy to use tool. There is no rocket technology in this. If somebody is good in using the Google, this is as simple as that. I think I have almost covered every topic on this Micromedex page. Now I'm open to the question and answers. If somebody has any doubts, you can get in touch with me now.
participants can unmute themselves to ask their query.
If somebody wants to type the question, they can type the question, or if somebody wants to ask me a question, you can.
Any queries, students?
No queries?
Students, if you have any queries, you can ask now. You can chat through the chat box also.
Yeah, if somebody wants to, type a question also, I would be more than happy to answer that. And maybe if not now, let's say going forward, if somebody come across any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me through your HODs or the faculty members.
Yes, sir, sure. In case if the students are having any doubt, I will let you know, and you please clear the doubt, sir.
Sure, Doctor. I hope the session was informative, and it would help the. I hope it would help the students. So, thank you. Thanks very much for all of your time, and we can close the session unless you have any questions.
Yes,
Doctor,
sir.
if you have any questions, you can please.
No, sir. Actually, it was a very informative session, and it was very clearly mentioned about the dosage calculation and also about the interaction, particularly in the IV formulation. So it was really a helpful session, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Amarnath, sir, Business and Marketing Head of Micromedex. We are very, we feel very, the session was very useful, and we feel thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. And I would strongly suggest that each one of you please make use of the training videos, because everything is explained there, madam.
Yes.
It's just for 5 minutes video, 6 minutes videos. If some students are stuck somewhere, they can simply go to the training session and watch those videos. It will give them small tips, which can make a lot of difference. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Actually, even for the people who are calculating for their own babies, even if I want to calculate ml or mg for my baby, it will be very helpful, sir.
Sure, madam. Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time.
My pleasure, madam, and thank you so much, madam. Going forward, anytime, any doubts, you can always feel free to get in touch with me.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and all of you have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.